A few years back, Volkswagen named their cars after famous wins, Scirocco, Passat, but not Amarok. It's named after a mythical man-eating giant wolf, so not exactly a gentle breeze then. Still, you need to sound tough, look tough and be tough when you go into the ute market, especially here in New Zealand. Kiwis love their utes, and like the trucks themselves, you have to deliver. I want to start by addressing the rather large, wolf in the tailgate, and that's that the Amarok is a joint venture between Volkswagen and Ford. It makes sense, they're the world's biggest producer of utes, so they bring plenty to the party. That means this was built in partnership. A lot of the mechanics you can't see are shared between the two cars. They have the same dimensions, for example. A couple of things you can see, like say door handles and mirrors, but the design of the Amarok is 100% Volkswagen. And this is the result. 13 years after the first Amarok arrived, we get this more chiselled, rugged and more resolved design, one that looks much more like a V-dub than the original. I really like the first Amarok, except for one thing. The front never won me over. It was too soft, very untruck-like, but now it is dead on. It looks properly tough. It goes perfectly with these squared-off wheel arches. Matrix LED headlights complete the look of what now could stake a claim to be the best looking ute on the market. Now, I just said I liked the first Amarok. I'll tell you why. It was the best on-road ute by a long shot. You got all the looks and practicality of a ute, but it didn't bounce along like a horse cart or corner like a container ship. The fancy pants word is dynamics, not usually something associated with a ute, but right from the start, that has been the Amarok's point of difference. Well, there's no question it looks the part, but what I want to know is, does the Amarok still have that secret sauce? Is it still the best driving ute? And it's not just the quiet and the ride, it's these seats. And I've checked, they are actually Volkswagen seats. I feel like I'm in a Tiguan, not a big old truck. And there's a whole lot of other V-dub touches, and literally the things you touch. This steering wheel is straight out of a V-dub, and what I do like, none of the haptic buttons, it's got the old school buttons on the spokes. Love them. The dashboard's V-dub, and the display on the 12-inch centre monitor is all V-dub. The padded dash and door caps are another V-dub touch, which further reinforces that despite the wider load tray designed for the Euro pallet, this is as much a show horse as a workhorse. That the Amarok feels so great on the road is no happy accident. V-dub were firmly focused on making sure it shone on the hard stuff. Even this, the Pan Americana, which is the off-road version. The suspension tune, the steering geometry is all specific to the Amarok, and it's all designed to make this feel like a European SUV. At the same time, it lugs like a truck with a 3,500 kilo tow limit and 976 kilo payload. This Pan Am comes with a V6 turbo diesel that puts out 184 kilowatts and 600 newton meters, and it drives through a 10-speed gearbox. Well, the steering is something that really stands out. It's super prompt. Instant reaction to any movement, very unlike most utes where it's more a case of turn and wait. Speaking of weight, and the other spelling, there is a real heft to the steering. It's not one of those one finger over assisted steering jobs. Again, that car feel shines through. Well, that's the thing, it really does drive like a car, or at least an SUV, more than it does a ute. I think the words I'd use to sum it up are stable and connected. Don't get me wrong, the Amarok will go off-road. I'm not just talking about these bumpy roads in the Waitakeris. It comes with a whole lot of different drive modes for any surface or condition you'll encounter. And if you really do like the off-road stuff, this is the pick, the Pan Americana, which comes with the special off-road wheels and tyres. But every Amarok is ready to handle the rough stuff, with an 800mm wading depth across the range. At Giltrap Volkswagen, prices start at $65,000. That's for the 125 kilowatt Life. The 154 kilowatt Sport is $75,000, Both of those come with the 2-litre 4. The Pan Americana is $88,000 and like the $90,000 Aventura, it's powered by a 3-litre V6. On the way, a 2.3-litre 4. Now, normally I go for the absolute top model in a range, but I actually reckon the Pan Americana is the pick. I do dig the more off-road tough look, and I like the blacked out style as well. You know, the Amarok didn't just have a hard act to follow, it has to measure up in the ferociously competitive 1-tonne ute segment, including against its cousin. But it does, and it delivers on value, practicality, and most importantly, drivability. I still don't know how a ute can deliver such sublime road manners. It seems impossible. But you know, most of all, now it looks as good as it goes.
Volkswagen.